Okay. So can I start?
Just give me a minute, Ellen. Like I'm
Okay.
putting it on the live.
Okay.
Yeah, we are good to go.
Okay.
Good
Hello and a very
morning.
good day, everyone. So today we will be covering on goal seek and also solver. Okay. Solver is a big topic, but I'll teach you the basic one. So once I teach you the basic part, then I think it will be easy for you that you can understand and grasp the formula and whatnot. Okay. So right now, what we'll do is, if you look in this particular screen, so if you can hear me, please type number 1. If you can see the screen, please type number 2. Okay. So what we see in these particular details over here, as you can see, we do have the iPhone details, the quantity sold, price per unit, variable cost, fixed cost. Okay, so this is the assumptions of iPhone 14. So what I want to do is basically I actually want to understand what is the profit. So normally what they'll do is the total revenue is equivalent to quantity sold multiplied with the price per unit, because one unit is 995. So you times with 5,000, you'll get the total revenue. The same goes to variable cost, whereby what you do is you will select the quantity sold multiply with the price per unit, the variable price per unit. So you'll get this. So this is about 1725. So I need to put a negative because this is a cost. So it will be a negative. And then after that, the fixed cost is about 5 million. So equivalent to negative 5 million. So if you see here over here, the revenue is 4.9, the variable cost is 1.7, and fixed cost is 5 million. So what I normally do is I will just put the alternate sum. I press enter, and then you'll get about a negative or a loss making of 1.7 or 1.8 million. Okay, so we can actually use goal seek to determine how many units we must sell in order we can make a profit or in order to make break even. Okay, break even is a situation whereby the profit is equivalent to 0. We don't want loss. A purpose of a business is to make profit. So we don't want loss, we only want profit, okay, or at least break even. So what we can do is we can determine how many quantity we must sell so that we can get a profit of 0 or more than 0. So this is where we use goal seek. Where is goal seek? Okay, what you need to do is you need to click on data. Once you click on data, on the right hand side, there is a thing called what if analysis. So you need to click on what if analysis. If you can't see where is what if analysis, it is located on the right side. Once you click what if analysis, you must click the arrow and you will click on goal seek. Once you click on goal seek, you will notice that a box will appear. Meaning to say, where is data? As you can see over here, I'm pointing here, this is data. So the data is over here, and I see on the right hand side, we have what if analysis, which is over here. So my friends, can you see what if analysis? If you can see, maybe can you type number 3 in the chat box? So if you notice carefully, I click data and then I click on what if analysis. So where is what if analysis? What if analysis is located on the right hand side. So I click what if analysis. So what I must click next? I must click goal seek. So I will click what? I'll click goal seek. Once I click goal seek, a box will appear. So as you can see here, a box will appear. So goal seek is, okay, you just say, I want to know what is the unit when the profit is equal to 0. So the set cell, I must select this profit over here. The set cell, I must set the profit over here. I want to set it to 0. So if you want to set it as a 0, so which cells you want to change? You want to change on this particular cell over here, which is C4. Bear in mind, the C13 is your loss or profit and whatnot. This one should be the affected number. Okay, there should be a formula that connects to this, because if just say you put a different cell, it will not be connected. So make sure the C4 is actually connected to C13. What do I mean by connected? Because this 5,000, when you multiply with the price per unit, you get the revenue. Once you get a revenue, then you will minus the cost, you get profit. So this one affects the profit directly or indirectly. And another thing is you must understand that this particular loss making should be, or this data, this cell over here should be a formularized number. This 5,000 over here should be a hard-coded number. So now when you press OK, you will notice that the quantity sold is 97692 when the profit is equivalent to 0. That means in order the company get break even or profit equivalent to 0, they must sell about 7,692 units. So I press OK. Here you go. So maybe let me try one more time. So what I'll do is I will go to data. Under data, that is what if analysis. And under what if analysis, I click goal seek. And under goal seek, what I do is, here is the set cell. So just say I put here, I want to know maybe about 10,000 profit. So the set cell, I select here. And then to value, I put here 10,000. I want to know what's the value of profit 10,000. Okay. When the units, I change the units. So I select over here and I press OK. So when I do this, we will notice that in order for the company to make a profit of 10,000, they must sell 7,708 units. Okay. So there are two things that you need to know. This number over here, the changing cell should be a hard-coded number or a constant number. Meanwhile, the set cell, that means the set cell or the outcome cell, this number should be a formularized number. What is formularized? Okay, see here, when just say I press Ctrl G, when I press Ctrl G, a box will appear. What I do is I will click on special. When I click special and just say I click on constant, meaning when I click on the constant over here and I press OK, you will notice that all these are highlighted. Why all these are highlighted? Because this is a constant number. A constant number is whereby we key in manually. Why all these numbers are not highlighted? Because that is what we call a formularized number. A formularized number is when you have a equal sign. And you see here, you have a equal sign, you have a equal sign, you have a equal sign. That is a formularized. So just say I press Ctrl G, I go to special and I click formulas. So when I click formulas, you'll see here, all these numbers are highlighted. Why? Because it's a formularized number. A formularized number is whereby it has equal sign. Whereas a hard-coded or constant number is where we key in or we type the number manually. So when you type something manually, that is hard-coded or constant. When it has an equal sign, that is what they call a formularized number. So that's number one. Number two is when I put my cursor over here and I go to formulas and I put trace dependent. So when I put trace dependent, it will show that this number affects these numbers over here. And eventually these numbers will affect this number. So when you do goal seek, you must make sure that your cell must be indirectly affected by the changing cell. Otherwise, cannot. So for example, just let me put here, maybe I put here 5, 4, and then equivalent to 5 times 4. So this 20, how I get is 20 is equivalent to 5 multiplied with 4. So if just say I go to my data and I click goal seek, okay, quadratic analysis, goal seek. So my changing cell 20, I want to change to just say 50. And then by changing what cell? Changing this cell. So if you notice carefully, this cell over here, it is not directly influencing this number over here. There's no connection. So if when I press OK, you see, it will not affect this. It will not affect this. My friends, do you get the picture? If you get the picture, you understand, can you type number 4 in the chat box? Because in real life, the database will be longer. So even if you try your best, it will not change here. So make sure that this data is connected with this data over here. So for example, let's say I cancel this. Okay, I do one more time. So what if analysis, goal seek, not here. Why not here? Because this units is not connected to this data over here. So we should select something over here. And then I want to know the value. Maybe I put here 100,000. And then changing what cell? Changing this cell over here. And then I press OK. So now you'll notice it has changes. So we notice that we need to increase our cells to 7,800 in order to make a 100,000 profit. Okay. So now this is goal seek. Goal seek is when you change one cell. But what if just say, what if, what if I want to change more than one cell? Okay, maybe I want to change the price. And also, what if I have some constraint? Constraint means, like just say I want my quantity sold to be less than 9,000 and whatnot. Okay, so in this kind of situation, okay, what we will do is we will use solver. In this kind of situation, what we will do is we will use the solver. So the solver is not only it can change more than one cell, it can also have constraints, more than one constraint. So where is solver? Solver is over here. So my dear friends, can you type number 4 if you can see solver over here? Can you see solver? Yes, I'm pointing in the screen. Okay, so where is solver? Solver is located under your data ribbon. As you can see here, this is your data and this is the solver over here. All right. So how to get the solver? Well, the step number 1 is you need to click your file. Once you click your file, number 2 is you click options. You click options. Okay. Number 3 is you go to add in and then Excel add in, and then you press go. Then after that, number 4 is you need to tick the solver. Meaning to say, you click the file over here, you click options. So once you click option, this box will appear. So you need to go to add in. Where is add in? Add in is over here. And then Excel add in, go. So if you see here carefully, there is Excel add in and go. And then once you do it, you just press OK. And then what you need to do is you need to tick the box. Okay, so let me just do one more time so that you can understand. Home, sorry, file, options, add in, and I press go. So when I press go, you will see you need to tick the solver. Where is the solver? Solver is over here. You need to tick it and press OK. So solver is under your data ribbon, and over here we have solver. Okay, you need to click data, you need to click on solver, and then a box will appear. So now just say I click a solver. Okay, so what is my objective? My objective is my profit over here. So I want a maximum profit. I want a maximum profit. Okay, how much the maximum profit that I can generate by changing what cell? By changing these following cells. I change these following cells. And then what I need to do? What is this constraint? The constraint is I need to press add. So number 1, this is my constraint. That means this data over here, the cell reference. Okay, it should be less than, okay, because our maximum capacity is 9,000. So it should be less than the 9,000 over here. And then what I do is I press add. The C4 should be less than the maximum capacity. And then after that, my next data is this 995, which is the price per unit, should be less than the price of maximum price of 1099. So I select the constraint and I press add. And then after that, the last one is the minimum variable cost is 359. So what I need to do is I need to select this. Instead of less than, I choose greater than. Why I choose greater than? Because here is minimum variable cost. So it should be greater than the minimum. So greater than, and then what I do is I select this data over here. And then I press add. And then last one is I also must make sure that my quantity sold, you see, the price per unit, the variable cost, you can have a decimal number. But when it comes to quantity sold, I have to make sure that the quantities, it cannot be in the form of decimal places. Whether you want to calculate the number of employees or whether you want to calculate the number of inventories, it's not possible for the data to have a decimal format. So I want to make sure that this data is in the form of integer. Okay, it's in the form of integer. Integer means a number without decimal places. Then I press OK. So once I press OK, so this is all my data. And then what I do is I press solve. So once I press solve, you will notice that, okay, so we have this data and then we press OK. Okay, so they have changed accordingly. So which is 995, 345, 9231. So we'll manage to get the profit and so on. Okay. So if just say you want to change maybe to 2 million. Okay, what you do is you go to solver. Okay, so this data you see, instead of maximum, you put of value of 2 million, 2000 and another 30. And then what you do is you press solve. You press solve, of course, you will have some issue and whatnot. So you press OK. So of course, you will not able to change because based on the equation and whatnot. Okay. So solver is whereby you want to actually get a figure based on several assumptions and on several constraints. Okay. So just now when we try goal seek when we have one situation whereby we change only one changing cell. But solver happens whereby when you want to change more than one changing cell. All right. So my friends, do you have any questions? Okay, so maybe Akriti, I can give over to you. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
No, Ellen, all is good.
Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. So if you have any questions, you can ask. If no questions, then see you when I see you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ellen, for the insightful session.
All right, thank you, everyone. Take care.